Good morning students, welcome to our today's online session. Hope you all are fine. So last day we were discussing our chapter Indigo, in which we were discussing some historic events of our great motherland, and I believe this is the apt week to discuss such a chapter. So last day we discussed how Rajkumar Shukla persuaded Mahatma Gandhi to reach to Champaran to help the peasants or the tenants of Champaran. And Gandhiji reached there and he had a discussion with the advocates. Now let us see what is there in the rest of the chapter.
Then Gandhiji arrived in Champaran. He tried to get the facts but didn't receive warm welcome by the British officials. Gandhiji wanted to get the facts. He visited the secretary of the British Landlords Association, but the secretary refused to give any information, saying that Gandhiji was an outsider. Gandhiji told him that he was not an outsider. Then Gandhiji called on the commissioner of Tirhat division. He was very rude to Gandhiji. He told Gandhiji to leave Tirhat immediately. But Gandhiji did not leave. Motihari was the capital of Tirhat. Gandhiji made it his headquarters. He went to a house and, using it as a headquarters, continued his investigations. Gandhiji was served with an official notice to leave Champaran immediately, but he disobeyed the order. Consequently, Gandhiji was summoned to appear in a court. Gandhiji sent a report to the Viceroy. The peasants learned that the Mahatma, who wanted to help them, was in trouble with the authorities. Thousands of peasants gathered around the court building. This spontaneous show of their courage frightened the British authorities. They felt powerless. Gandhiji helped them to regulate the trial. Gandhiji helped these British officials to regulate the trial. In the court, Gandhiji pleaded guilty. He asked for penalty. He read out a statement. He said he was faced with conflict of duties. He respected the law authority. He was not a lawbreaker, but he could not disregard the voice of his conscience to do humanitarian and national service. The judge said he would take several days to deliver the judgment, but he let Gandhiji go free. Gandhiji asked his lawyer friends what they would do if he went to jail. They replied they would go home. Gandhiji asked again what would happen to the poor peasants. Then the lawyers felt ashamed. Gandhiji, who was a stranger, was willing to go to jail for their sake, for the sake of these peasants. The lawyers claimed to have been serving the peasants. Going home would mean shameful betrayal. The lawyers told Gandhiji that they too would follow him to jail. Gandhiji declared that the battle of Champaran was won once he heard what these lawyers had said. That they are also ready to accompany or follow Gandhiji to jail if they got arrested. He then divided the group into two pairs and put down their order in which each pair would court arrest. But the Lieutenant Governor of the province decided to drop the case against Gandhiji. This was the victory of civil disobedience. Now Gandhiji and the lawyers proceeded to conduct an enquiry. They recorded the statements of thousands of persons. In the meantime, the Lieutenant Governor summoned Gandhiji. After long interviews, the Lieutenant Governor constituted an official commission of enquiry to go into the Indigo peasants' complaints. The commission comprised officials, landlords, and Gandhiji as the sole representative of the sharecroppers. The commission collected all the evidence against these British landlords. The landlords were very anxious, very nervous. They agreed in principle to refund the peasants money they had already collected illegally. Gandhiji asked for a 50%, but the landlords were ready to give only 25%. Anyway, Gandhiji agreed to it. he had a moral victory. Gandhi explained that amount of money was not important because he asked for 50% and the landlords were ready to give only 25%. So he was telling that the amount of the money is not at all a matter. And he said, by agreeing to refund the peasants' money, the landlords had lost their prestige. They were no longer dreaded. The peasants learned they had rights and they were people to defend their rights. So this was Gandhiji's opinion. Even though it was only for 25%, it was peasants' victory. They learned that they had rights and there were people to defend their rights. The landlords abandoned their estates, which went back to the peasants. This was the end of indigo sharecropping in Champaran. Gandhi was not content to win the indigo battle. During his stay in Champaran, he saw that the people of Champaran were socially and culturally backward. So he wanted to do something for these people. He decided to remove their backwardness. Gandhiji decided to open primary schools for these people. He appealed for teachers, and two of his young disciples, their wives, and several other volunteers came there as teachers. Gandhi's wife Kasturba taught personal hygiene and community cleanliness for these people of Champaran, actually the women of Champaran. Gandhi had come to Champaran casually on the entry of Shukla. Since Rajkumar Shukla invited him or persuaded him to reach to Champaran, Gandhiji reached there. He expected his visit would last a few days only, but he had to stay there for 7 months continuously. He kept a distant watch on the ashram. He called for regular financial accounts. He even wrote to them that it was time to fill in the old latent trenches and the new ones. So, in each and every small matters, Gandhiji interfered and he brought the required corrections for the upliftment of these people. And Charles Freer Andrews was devoted follower of Gandhiji. He came to Champaran. Gandhiji's lawyer friends wanted him to stay on to help them, but Gandhi opposed the idea. He said they should not seek in an Englishman's help in their fight. They must fight their battle themselves. For Gandhiji, self-reliance, India's independence and help to sharecroppers were all bound together. So this Freer Andrews, Charles Freer Andrews, he was ready to help Gandhiji, but he was an Englishman, and the other lawyers wanted to seek his help, but Gandhiji opposed it because of only one reason: he is an Englishman, and Gandhiji took all these sharecroppers and independence of India, everything together, and he didn't want to take the support from this Englishman. That is our chapter. Now see the URL completely, take down the given notes, and don't forget to write the review test. Till we meet in our next session, take care, bye bye.